Welcome to Living a Full Life podcast. Join us as we explore health topics that encourage raising healthy children, living a healthy life, and living the best life possible. Now, here's your host.
If you feel wired but exhausted, anxious for no reason, or like your brain never shuts off, your nervous system might be stuck in survival mode. Most people aren't tired because of life. They're tired because their nervous system never turns off. Today, I'm going to explain nervous system regulation in a way that actually makes sense and give you real ways to reset it. Welcome back to Living a Full Life podcast. Thanks for tuning in. I love each and every one of you. Our nervous system is such an amazing thing that God gave us, the universe gave us. We can actually tap into the universe with this nervous system. It's amazing. And the coolest part about it is you don't even have to think about it. It works on autopilot. There's an entire division of the nervous system called the autonomic nervous system, the automatic nervous system. You don't even have to think about it. It just does everything. Breathes for you, makes your heart beat. You don't have to think about it. It just works. It's pretty amazing. It's what got me into my profession in the first place. I'm like, how does this all work? Medicine didn't care for it. So that's why I ended up going into chiropractic, because that's all they care about is this nervous system. And we're still learning. We barely know anything about it. I remember going through school and they said there's 11 or 34 billion cells in the body. Nope, not even close. Like 11 trillion was the newest one that I heard. So that was only less than 20 years ago when people were teaching 34 billion cells. There's 11 trillion cells in the human body. Crazy. I think there's like 30 billion cells just in the nervous system. Like, yeah, you want to be wowed. The numbers, you don't know mathematics until you learn about human body physiology and those numbers. You're like, that doesn't even make sense. Those are like so many zeros at the end of everything. Unbelievable. So there's always been stress on our nervous systems from the beginning of time. Gravity, everything has put stress on us. But modern day stresses are a lot more to talk about. We do have more stress on our nervous system, and that's maybe why a lot of people feel the way that they do. The phones, news cycles in life, busy schedules, constant stimulation everywhere. There's screens everywhere. We're bombarded with information. These are all modern day stresses. This isn't about avoiding stress. This whole podcast is not about that. It's virtually impossible to avoid stress. It's about teaching your body how to handle stress. I remember a chiropractor a long time ago, one of it, Patrick Gentempo, was talking about gap. And I memorized it. I know the whole thing. I know the pyramid and everything that he talked about. What a great theory. It's not in any medical textbook. It was the way he defined your general adaptive potential. And I was like, that just makes sense. He's like, the wider your general adaptive potential is, the more stress you can handle within it, kind of like a glass filling with water. If stress is the water and you keep adding water to this glass, it's going to fill up and overflow, and it's going to overstimulate us, and we're going to overflow and become paranoid, anxious. We're going to shut down. So he's like, instead of the water, it's always going to rain. It's going to monsoon sometimes. It's going to drizzle. There's always going to be water. There's always going to be stress. Is it smarter to try and avoid the water or to change the container? And I loved it. It made such sense. The bigger the container, let's get rid of this glass, this 8-ounce glass. Let's go get a pitcher, a plastic pitcher. Or instead of the pitcher, let's go get a wheelbarrow. Or instead of a wheelbarrow, let's go get a drum, like a barrel. And now, if we're a barrel, we can handle a lot more stress. And I loved it. I was like, that makes more sense. Tell me more about that. And it was just a great way to understand how our nervous system, our general adaptive potential, and it pretty much explains longevity. The better our GAP, general adaptive potential, the more we can handle stress. The more we can handle stress, the longer we can handle stress. And it's a theory towards longevity as well. Made perfect sense. So the nervous system has the autonomic nervous system, which is broken down into two sides, the sympathetic and parasympathetic. It was taught in high school biology, if you remember, rest and digest and fight or flight. Sympathetic is fight or flight. Parasympathetic is rest and digest. I'm from Western Canada in the Rockies. So the bear comes around the corner. You and I are hiking, and my heart rate goes up immediately. My blood vessels vasodilate. I got blood flow going to my muscles immediately, and I'm like, I'm out, and I start running. Your sympathetic nervous system, you're subluxated. You need to see a chiropractor so bad. You have so many subluxations in your spine, and it's like you're slowed down. You're like, is that a bear? And like, I'm already 400 yards down behind you down the path. And it was great knowing you. It was nice. Good. I hope you enjoyed your life. And then I continue on with my life. And that's about the health of the nervous system. That's how it works. Fight or flight. Who can fight or flight in immediate control? And that's from stress response. The bear, your cortisol goes up. You have some shallow breathing immediately so that the muscles can activate. But that's from stress. The bear was the stress. Work can be the stress. Finance can be the stress. Traffic can be stress. Anything can be stress. Life events, deaths in the family. Stress can come in, and we do that sympathetic response. And in moments in time, it serves us. But living too sympathetic for too long, it's like pedal to the metal. I can't continue running down that trail forever at that speed. I'm going to have to slow down. I mean, I'm going to burn out. I'm going to have to slow down at some point. The parasympathetic nervous system is the rest or digest. When we are not in sympathetic mode, we are resting, repairing, digestion, we're healing and recovery. This is usually at night when we sleep. We're in full parasympathetic mode, and we're resting. And we're supposed to swing into that side a little bit to truly repair. Your nervous system is like a gas pedal and a brake. I love that one. Most people are driving with the gas slammed down all day at 110 miles an hour. So, in our philosophy, we believe in the brain-body communication in the chiropractic, and the spine and nervous system function is completely tied. Your nervous system runs through your spinal cord. Your brain is in a bowling ball. It's in your cranium. There's not much you can do to influence the brain externally or physically. What you can do is you can chemically influence it. And mindfully, holy smokes, the mind and how you think and gratitude and prayer and all the things that you can do to help stimulate that brain. Absolutely, there's ways to do that too. But regulation matters for healing. And that's the whole point of this podcast. If we can learn how to tap into some regulation, we heal better. And if we heal better, we feel better. This is some signs of how your nervous system is dysregulated. And many of us are. I'm going to put up my hand for a couple of these things too. It's life. We have to embrace that. We're always tired, but we also can't sleep. We're like, I'm exhausted, but when I go to sleep, I am a horrible sleeper. That's a dysregulated nervous system. It doesn't know whether you're going into parasympathetic or sympathetic. You're just pedal to the metal all the time. That's why you're tired. And because you're pedal to the metal, when you finally rest and you put the car in park, yeah, you put the car in park, but you left your foot on the gas pedal. Now all your family hears is the car revving in the garage. They're like, why is Dad revving the car? Is he going to drive through the wall? Like, what's going on? It's just pedal to the metal all the time, even when you're in park. That's what's being stuck in parasympathetic or in sympathetic mode. Anxiety or irritability, easily irritable or always anxious. Neck and shoulder tension. People say this all the time. I keep all my stress in my shoulders. Yeah, that's where it goes. It goes as close. The brain is trying to deflect the stress, and it deflects the stress through our muscular system. There's a whole link with this. This is where acupuncture and the meridians fall into place. It puts it into the tissue because it deflects it from the brain. It's like, listen, we can't constantly mentally stress about this. Let's turn it into a physical component so that we can keep focusing on letting the heart beat and the lungs breathe and all the important things. So it moves it down. That's the closest major muscle group to the body is the trapezius. That's where your scalenes feel it, the jaw feels it, all of those smaller muscles feel it too, but we end up feeling our traps. Digestive issues, because the gut-brain connection is huge. Cravings for sugar or caffeine, those start to go up. You're like, man, I just need sugar. You just want sugar. You just want sweets. You're doing that. It's because you're stressed or more caffeine. Feeling overwhelmed by the small things. Small things. Kids come home, they forget, some homework at school, and you get stressed because they forgot it. But really, it's their life lesson to learn how that works. This isn't weakness. It's physiology. You're not weak. We're drained. Life's tough. Life's tough. We know it is, and we're here to help. I think everyone feels worse right now. It's been depressing since COVID. Honestly, like I'm like, am I getting old and grumpy? Like, what's going on here? Is it politics? Like, why am I just getting grumpy? No, there's always been politics. it's post-COVID. Like the world has truly mentally changed, like how we treat each other, how we look at one another. People are now a nuisance to one another. The community was there. When COVID happened, it was about us. It was about community. We were swinging towards community. That's why at that time, from 2015 onward to 2020, the global shift mentally was back to community. We started getting together again. And we can talk about politics all we want, but that's why protests happened. People gathered together. There was a community thing that was happening there. And then post-COVID, we're swinging away from that. We're still in a little bit of community, but we're swinging away back to me again, which happens over history, like generational. We swing in and out of these collectively as society, as people. We collectively move out of us and me, and then we go through times, and you can see it. There's graphs that correlate with this, both economically, societally, social service wise. We'll see spikes going up and then going down. We're moving towards me again, and then that's why everyone is just so stressed again. We don't have the shoulders to lean on like we used to. Right? You used to be able to put on a mask and then feel like you were part of something, part of a movement. You're like, okay, we're all doing this, right? We're all wearing our mask. Good. I'm part of something. That was community. And now, it's not. So the constant notifications we get on our phones, our email, it's unbelievable now compared to any time before. I remember when there was like, oh man, I have 200 unread, unopened emails, like 15 years ago. Man, I got to open up these 198 emails. Why are they even in there? I should clean this up. I have 29,000 in my inbox right now. 29,000. I'm not going to ever touch them. Like, I just got to go in one day and delete them. Constant notifications, artificial lighting everywhere, lack of movement, emotional stress and informational overload, overtraining or under recovering. These are all the reasons why we feel stressed all the time. Your body thinks it's being chased by a bear, but it's really just emails and blue light. Here we go. You ready? You're ready. This is how we regulate it in 2026. This is what you can do. Morning sunlight. When you wake up in the morning, doesn't matter if it's right at sunrise or an hour after, it doesn't matter. You open up the blinds and you get some sun right to, you know what's most important? Where it should go? People think their skin for vitamin D. That's when you can directly be outside, not blocked by a window or a screen or anything. That's outside, like I think at the beach or the park, and it's hitting your arms and your face. That's the vitamin D. Your retina, your eyes. Don't look directly at the sun. But looking outside and just look and getting that photonic energy to the retina, that is what we're talking about, that morning sunlight and early movement. Walking, like waking up, brushing your teeth, going downstairs, and just taking the dog out front and walking down the sidewalk a little bit or in the backyard or wherever you can, just a few moments and just moving and then going for a proper walk after. Slow nasal breathing, slowing down our breathing once a day where we focus on breathing 4 to 5 second inhale and a longer exhale. Because if you time yourself right now, you'll see 2 seconds in, 2 seconds out, 2 seconds in, 2 seconds out. We live our life like that. It's called shallow breathing. But if you watch your 4-year-old when they sleep, watch them. I know it's kind of creepy, but watch them. They're cute. They're lifelong memories watching those little cute faces. Watch them for just a moment when they're breathing. Look how big their belly expands and comes down. In and out. Almost at times it's like they stop breathing. But when you look closely, they're not slow. They're doing perfect breath rhythm where they breathe in, fully expand their lungs, and it's like, are they breathing anymore? They are. They're slowly exhaling. They take like this 4-second breathe in, and it's almost like a 9, 8, 9, 10 second exhale at times. And then they go back into this 4 seconds in, 4 seconds out. It's cool. And you'd be like, I want that. You should want that. That's what it's all about. But taking time during the day in a seated position where you just focus for 30 seconds, 60 seconds, taking just this breath of expanding your rib cage to bringing in as much air as you can, and then slowly getting it out. Just retraining the parasympathetic nervous system. Be like, hey, do this at night when I sleep, because it's out of your control. It's the autonomic nervous system. It signals safety to the brain when you do that. Automatically decrease immediately. If you could do a live cortisol test, blood or saliva, you immediately see a decrease in cortisol when people stop and focus on their breath. They talk about prayer, meditation. It's not about the system that they're using. It's the breathing. When people stop to pray or meditate, they naturally change their breathing. They naturally take a deep breath in and slowly breathe it out. It's just part of that breathing cycle. Reduce stimulant overload. Coffee timing, doom scrolling. You got to prioritize these things during the day. Caffeine before noon, scrolling in the afternoon, no scrolling late in the evening. There's so many different things when it comes to the scrolling, the information you're getting, the dopamine hit that you're getting, drooling over whatever you're watching before bedtime, not good for the brain. Chiropractic and physical input. Adjustments, mobility, and posture awareness directly influence the nervous system, the cerebral spinal fluid motion, and circulation overall. If you're having a tough time regulating your nervous system, above supplements, above nutrition, above anything else, the fastest and most effective thing you can do is get adjusted. Spinal adjustment by chiropractic techniques. Chiropractic techniques are taught under nervous system regulation. They're all based on nervous system regulation. Gross manipulation of the spine for mobility and flexibility can be done by PTs, some massage therapists, the barbers in India. You see those on Instagram all the time. They can do a nice Steven Seagal move on your neck for sure. That has nothing to do with your nervous system. Probably going to hurt your nervous system, make it more stressed. But the chiropractic techniques that we use, all chiropractors, are based off neural response. Evening wind down ritual. I love this one. Lights go down, you dim them, you give yourself a few moments of cool down, and then the screens are off earlier, and then you have a consistent bedtime. If it's 10 p.m., it's 10 p.m. You turn things off at 9:30. You do a little wind down, grab a couple sips of water, go use the bathroom in a dark house. Get to the bedroom, take a few moments. Maybe that's where you breathe a little bit in and out, and you have this wind down, and then you roll over and you take a few minutes to fall asleep. My wife's always like, how do you fall asleep in under 5 minutes? Like, what's going on? I'm like, because I'm ready to go to bed. Like, I've done this my whole life. It's the same bedtime. Any of you have kids? Like, my 11-year-old has had my kids have had the exact same routine every night. 11 years. My oldest daughter, doesn't know any other routine. 7 p.m., we go upstairs, start getting ready for bed. That means bath, brush teeth, get into the PJs, lie down. She gets to either read a book, watch a YouTube video, or whatever she wants to do right before bed with her lights dim. And then we just put down the girls. And then by 8:30, everyone's asleep. And that's been their entire life. And I'm going to try and do it until they're 29. Because I have daughters, so got to protect them. No, we'll try and go as long as we can. Clinical observations that I have seen in my practice. People who look healthy but are chronically stressed. It happens all the time. We put on a mask, we try and look good and strong, but underneath we're struggling. Athletes that are overtraining way too much and wondering why their energy is just not there. Moms running out of adrenaline. Yes, I wish I had a quick fix for you moms, but without you, our species is hooped. It's a tough gig being a mom, especially with new babies. Professionals that are stuck in fight or flight. Your career overtakes your life, and I get it. You're trying to move forward, move the needle, create a legacy and a foundation of financial strength for your family. That's a noble thing to do, but sometimes it overtakes our life. Just assess those things. The bigger message from today's podcast, when your nervous system feels safe, your body heals better. Your mind is clearer and you show up better for your family and your life. That's how your energy improves. It's how your emotional resilience improves. It's how longevity improves too. That is the nervous system in under 20 minutes. Try and tie in some things there. Improve your sleep. Limit caffeine. Have caffeine, just limit it. That third coffee at 2 p.m., probably not the best decision. And share this episode. Help people understand the basics. We take evidence, we take the research, we take what works and helps people, and we put it into these quick 20-minute podcasts. Everything is cited. If I sat here and cited everything that I'm talking about with every citation through JAMA and the health organization and all the articles they come from, the podcast would be long. But these are all cited information, evidence-based that we talk about with the photons hitting the retina and all the things we talk about. So everything comes from evidence-based. This is not theory. I'm not sitting here preaching. This is just regurgitation of evidence that I feel, in a nutshell, is understandable and helps you and your families move forward towards wellness and away from illness. That's the whole goal. Stay well, stay healthy, and I'll catch you next week, just like I always do.
Thanks so much for tuning into this episode of Living a Full Life podcast. If you're enjoying the show, please feel free to rate, subscribe, and leave a review wherever you listen to your podcasts. That helps others find the show, and we greatly appreciate it. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next episode.